Welcome back, recruits. I'm Greg Burke from Northern California Ghostbusters, and today we're going to be turning a case into a transport module for the 2-in-the-box. Let's get started. Chris, when do I get to do the wire soldery things?
When you grow up.
Oh, okay. What we have here is a Apache 4800 case we got from Harbor Freight. These retail for $59.99, but they have sales all the time. I think I got like a 20% off coupon on this one. It's a case that's primarily made for guns, I guess.
Got anything? No, just more stupid guns.
A great member of the Haslab modders group posted a picture of how this case worked. Shout out to that group and that person. I'll try to give them credit in the description of the video as well if I can find the original post, which seems to be difficult.
There's been a bunch of people doing it and posting theirs as well in that same group, so it's kind of...
It's a great Facebook group. We'll leave a link in the description below if you want to join it. They're very helpful for all the stuff that we do. We love it there. It's a nice, kind group. And that's where we found about the Apache case. I don't know if it's water resistant or waterproof. It's definitely waterproof because it has like a seal. Not bulletproof, not fireproof. It also comes with foam. And I have a lot of experience with this because of mini wargaming. I play a lot of Warhammer and Fantasy, Sigmar, and Hordes and stuff like that. Had a lot of these cases before I went full magnetized. All you're gonna do is pluck the foam out, and we're gonna kind of lay out some pattern or like a format, and then we're slowly removing the foam because you can get new foam, but it's $30 for a new, so if you mess up, it's 30 bucks. And the case was 60.
I had no idea it'd be so much I won't pay it.
So the first thing you wanna do is kind of do a layout, do a temp layout of where you want everything to lay. You wanna kind of just get an idea of where everything is going to sit in the case before you start plucking foam like crazy. Cable's small, so it doesn't have to be laid out, but all the big stuff definitely has to be laid out. And it doesn't have to be this layout. You can do whatever you want. This is the layout I'm going to work with the PKE to the right of the case, the trap, and this thing are going to be right next to each other. They might not have a lot of breathing room between the pedal and the trap, but that's okay because everything is pretty much not going to move once you close this lid. You will have to cut some stuff up here because the handle is a bit long. We'll show you how to do that, don't worry. So we'll start first with the easy stuff. We'll start with the PKE. So we want this to be at the very far edge, the right side of the case.
Do you need to mark it out first or anything? Or?
I mean, you could. If you wanted to trace it with like a pen, you can trace it. It's all about getting the most out of the space that you can. I mean, this is
Oh, great. Now there's Sharpie all over my PKE.
If you were cutting foam, that would be the way to do it if you had cut foam. Right? Just a solid piece of foam, but this is plug and play. So you're just gonna basically, not the edge. There is an edge. There's about, what I would say, 1/4 inch, maybe 1/2 inch toward the edge. You want to find out where it breaks and just pull. See, you just kind of follow the outline. Remember, you can take away is much easier than to add. So just go.
It's a lot easier to cut off than it is to add to. Yeah.
Measure twice, cut once, right? Or in my case, measure twice, cut 3 times, measure 2 more times. I've never been good with power tools.
That's why he makes me do it.
Yeah, that's why I make Chris do it. There'd be fires, lawsuits, multiple Haslab packs destroyed, just pure chaos.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Okay, so here we're gonna start leaving a little bit of room for the grip right here, so you can kind of see how the shape. And it's already a little too small. I might have to go even wider. We're just gonna slowly do this. There's the rough cutout, and we can see let's see how snug this is. It's actually, ooh,
Just about perfect.
look at that.
Ooh.
Actually beautiful. Oh yeah, that is not going anywhere. See, the thing is, this is for because if you've taken this to cons already, you've noticed that the trap slides in the car. You have to put it on the side. This is a great opportunity and a cool set piece if you have a booth, like the Heisterjägen, the good German Ghostbusters.
Oh, Die Geisterjäger.
I love those guys. I love those guys so much. I'm so mad they're so far away. If I would have changed one thing, I might have moved this down so the handle was closer to the bottom, but you know what? This still works because that's not going anywhere. The thing closes, it's gonna look beautiful. Next we're gonna do the trap, because the trap's a more simple shape to do than
the foot pedal.
The foot pedal.
I looked at the trap, Ray.
Now, there's 2 different ways you can do this. Some people leave enough room with the foam to keep the sidebars on. We're gonna do it with the sidebars off just because I'd like having more clearance for the pedal. And they come off easily. So we're just gonna start at the very top. I'm not gonna use the Sharpie because I don't wanna mark up Chris's trap. Just gonna mark where the cable is. So that's just the top layer. It's a 2-layer pack. So now we're just gonna literally pull stuff out of the bottom, matching what we just did up here. So that's nice and snug. Now, you'll notice that it can't close. The handle is too high, and it doesn't come off, and it's part of the thing. So instead what we're gonna do is we're gonna take Chris's very nice knife, very carefully. And
My heirloom scrimshaw.
Yeah, we're gonna cut. We're gonna gauge it. We're gonna feel it where we need to start cutting, so the handle has a little more clearance. So we just put that where it's gonna sit, right about there. I don't want to cut Chris's trap, so poke that through.
And are you cutting like a complete square hole or just like a gap?
I'm gonna cut a gap. I'm gonna cut a gap and see how that works. Just a teeny bit more on this end. You can cut a square if you want to, if that's what you want to do instead. I'm just gonna do a small slit. And there you go. So that's where the bar is. Let's see, I think I may have gotten it ever so slightly out. No. And you see it does close. It does close. So I know people are looking at it like, does it close? Yeah, close. I was the same. I was like, how's it close with the handle?
Carefully.
I think mine was just ever so slightly off, but that's okay because
it's close enough.
It's close enough. And look, here's the thing about doing the slit too, instead of doing like a square cutout, is it looks a little nicer if you have this open. So now we just have the pedal and the cable and some other little miscellaneous stuff. So this is where it gets a little tricky. There's not a lot of clearance for the pedal. The trap and the pedal will be a little close together on this end, but this is plastic against a stainless steel thing, so you shouldn't have that much damage because they're both pretty flat. There's nothing to like really scrape. The mods here, then the cable can do. The cable is going to take two little plucks. So as long as we have at least 1 or 2 rows away from something else like this, except for this case, we should be good. So let's see the best way to do this. Ooh, yeah, that's going to be snug, but I think we'll be able to manage.
Behold the foam chaos.
Now we don't want to get any of this on Chris's trap, so I'm just going to mark it very gently. Okay, so if we start there, we should be good. It is going to be really close to the trap. There's nothing we can do about that. It's just going to be a little snug. Now we have the outline on the top. That's not going anywhere. It is really close to this. I've seen a lot of pictures on this, but like this isn't gonna, like, look how it's so tight. It shouldn't scratch or cause any damage to the stuff inside. You're nice and good there. And that's, we have the outline on top. We can do the bottom layer. It should slide right in, straight down. Move the wires out of the way. That is not going anywhere.
No.
The trap's also helping holding it in place because it's almost flush, almost just about flush, and then closes and locks. So now for the fun part. Now we do the cables. Cable's super easy. So you should only need about 2. We're gonna leave the PKE having 2 slots just for that extra padding and make it look a little cleaner. So two little pluck foams. We're gonna leave it between that. You can do it the flat way, but that takes up way too much space. It's much better to do it vertical. If you are a stickler for like really just perfect placement, you can do cut foam. Or you can, I mean, there are also places that you can measure and they'll laser cut for you. So that's also an option if you have, what are those? You showed me that tool today. What's the tool you have today, Chris?
It's a micrometer.
If you have a micrometer, you know how to measure, you know how to do that stuff.
Yeah.
You can do it that way too. Look at that beautiful case. Look at that. Right in. Happy little cable in its happy little place.
Okay, nice.
And it closes. Oh, always make sure it's closing by locking it. Everything locks. And then the last thing you'll have is you have your little sidebars. I don't even think you would need to pull these off, honestly, to like have them. You just make room in between them. Stick your finger in there and just do a little bit of spread. Yep, you don't even need to cut any. And there you go. Full case. Closes. Locks. Easy to take to conventions. Easy to store in your house. put it in the car without rolling it around. Absolutely fantastic. So after all that's done and said and done, you can see the case looks gorgeous. We didn't have to really destroy much to fit the tubes, the sidebar tubes in here. When you do remove it, if you do take it to convention or need to move it, I recommend removing the trap first and then the pedal. That's the only thing I would say. Remove the trap first, then the pedal, because the pedal has wires, don't want to get it caught. And then when you load it in, it goes without saying, trap first, then pedal. And there you go. Beautiful, a beautiful case. And of course you can put stickers and caution, as much caution striping as you want on this thing. So Chris was kind enough to provide me for some reflective caution stripe tape. Chris, what do you always say about caution stripe at Ghostbusters?
It's the herpes of Ghostbusters.
It's the herpes of Ghostbusters.
That's not my joke. I stole that joke from somebody in the community.
Well, and that is how you turn the Apache 4800 case from a gun case to a 2-in-the-box case. Really relatively simple process. Entry point is 60 bucks. If you do mess up on the foam, don't worry, that's okay. You can buy foam replacements or you can really just kind of hodgepodge it in there. You don't have to do this format, you can do whatever format you want, but I do recommend you do the layout first and then put everything in. That's everything. Shout out to the Haslab Modders Facebook group where we originally got this idea from. Shout out to Harbor Freight for the Apache 4800 case.
Please give us free stuff, Harbor Freight.
Yeah, right. Brought to you by Harbor Freight. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, give us comments, share our videos. They help tremendously. Chris and I put a lot of work into these every Sunday, and then me multiple hours during the night putting them all together. It really means a lot when you guys share them and with the community and like them. I love seeing our videos on Haslab mods when people ask a question and just a community member just post our video. I love seeing that. I'm Greg Burke with the Northern California Ghostbusters, and we'll see you next time, recruits.
There you go.
Nailed it.
Everything you're doing is bad. I want you to know this.